Hi, and welcome back to the Ask an Introvert podcast. I'm your host and life coach for introverts, Jennifer Ho. Let's catch up. It has been officially 81 days since I last published an episode. Do I have reasons why? Yeah. Are they legitimate? I'm gonna let you decide. Um, they're definitely legitimate for me, but you can definitely judge here if you'd like. Anyway, I have a story to tell you. So last week, a wonderful listener sent me some kind words. She said, I wanted to quickly share that I have listened to all your podcast episodes and I enjoyed it. I let her know that her words mean so much to me. I even admitted to her that I recently outlined 6 episodes, but I was honestly feeling a little resistant towards recording new episodes since it had been a while. She replied, I was wondering why there wasn't a new episode since April. I listened to them all recently while I was harvesting garlic. She knew that I hadn't published since April. She paid attention to that. And she had already sent me the words I needed, but that this podcast is also a nice garden listen for her. That made me feel extra proud because it's like you're doing self-growth while you're growing garlic and other things in your garden. Um, and this is so random, but the thought of podcasting started to light me up again instead of me feeling resistant to it being a big, overwhelming item on my to-do list. And I think for anybody who has started something, taken a break, coming back and getting started again is sometimes even harder than starting in the first place. And so I thought about how do I make this really easy, and with every step I made, I um like take the 6 outlines. 6 just seemed so big. And then I had it in my head that I was gonna sit down and record 3 episodes at once and do that twice, and then bam, I have 6 episodes. And that's exciting, but that also overwhelms me. So I let myself step back and think about, okay, like how do I want to make a comeback essentially? So I present to you the first episode of a mini series called Catching Up in Public. I will be reflecting on 4 pivotal months of my life in 2024. I'm imagining this series as serving a dual purpose. First, of being my own self reflection, and second, of offering you insights and perspectives from my life while they're super recent and fresh on my mind. From coaching at an international summit to navigating career transitions, each episode unpacks my viewpoint on life's big moments. Today, I'm going to walk you through the timeline of my life from March through June. The following episodes will be deep dives, and this one will be an overview. Um, I think, let's see, the most on-brand place for me to start is share about where I've traveled to during this period of time. For a homebody, I'm barely home. In March, I was in Taiwan. In April, I was in Indonesia and Singapore. Yes, that's 2 Asia trips from California that were only 2 weeks apart. And then in May, I went to LA, and in June, I was in San Diego and LA again. Within those 4 months, I also drove to San Francisco a couple of times and once to San Jose. Yeah, when was I actually home? I guess I was only home during the in-betweens, and that's why had I haven't really created the time and space for myself to reflect and be introspective. And that brings us here now to me sitting here for some much overdue catching up with myself. So during this time, I also attended 3 weddings. I became a fangirl of some cats, went to the Canva Create conference in person, decided I needed to quit the job that I was in, launched a job search, got an offer, and started a brand new job. And of course, there's more. I put my approach to boundaries together as a framework that I'm calling the ABCs of boundaries. I hosted a workshop on that. I launched the third round of the Making Friends as an adult introvert coaching program. And what else? Oh, I also met my very first client ever, one of my Europe-based clients in person in San Francisco. Oh man, this is quite the list, and I think each of these are each very, very deserving of celebration on their own. But listening them all together, I'm really in awe of myself. And you know what else? While I'm seeing how awesome all of this is right now, there's honestly a voice in my head still going, tisk tisk. I can't believe we didn't celebrate along the way. We can't do anything right. And then I hold my breath in shame. And I let out a big deflating sigh because after all of that, here I am again, still fighting the same demons. Some part of me, of my brain, is always going to feed me thoughts that suggest I'm not good enough, and in turn, I will continue to feel like I'm not enough. This annoys me to the point that my fitness tracker detects and informs me that my body is in a state of stress. Um, and that's helped. That like outside feedback has helped because I've noticed that yes, these demons come back up, but my recovery time is so much quicker. After I sit with my feelings for a few minutes, I can come back to a state of stasis and quieten my mind. And when my mind is quiet, that tisking stops. And as I come back to this podcast episode outline with my very big list of every when, where, and what happened in the past 4 months, I'm feeling really proud of myself again. And each time that these demons come back up, I think, yeah, we notice it. We're self-aware, but it's really important, not to sit in there for too long. Like process it, acknowledge it. Um, Definitely don't try to bury it. Because, for me, I realize that I do have a tendency to bury the discomfort and all the shades of shame, disappointment, and sadness. And when I do that, I start to numb out all the cuddly, warm, and fuzzy parts of my feelings too. So I'm definitely kind of recalibrating how I feel all my feelings. And I think definitely the last 4 months have taken me on a new roller coaster of feelings and thoughts and overthinking and anxious moments and all of that, but also a lot of clarity on who I have become as a person. The last 4 months, I think, really showcase work that I put into myself and into my life and my career and my coaching business over the last few years. And so we will be diving deeper into all of those things, probably not in chronological order. I think I'm going to go like with the most recent things and then work backwards. Um, but yes, with this, the Ask an Introvert podcast is back, even though it was never really gone. And I have three main tidbits I hope to gift you from this episode. Number one, if it's been a while since you sat yourself down for some intentional reflection and introspection, this is your nudge. May you dig past the uncomfortable feelings and discover seeds of joy, accomplishment, gratitude, whatever your heart seeks for yourself right now. I know that you can create it, grow it, and hopefully harvest it as delicious garlic one day. Well, okay. It doesn't have to be garlic. You pick what excites you. Number two, feel all the feels. Feel all your feels. Number three, send kind words to people you appreciate in the world, whether they're a friend you haven't spoken to in a long time or a stranger on the internet who made you think differently and laugh out loud. Don't just think these things in your head, share it with them. Your words might be what they need, and you might make a new friend along the way or strengthen an old friendship. Yeah. If you want to know why I took 2 Asia trips so close together and how I landed a new job in 1 week, don't worry, I'll be back with more episodes. All you have to do is subscribe and turn on your notifications because this podcast does not have a regular schedule. But I can promise that I'll be back much sooner than 81 days. Let's catch up more soon. Can't wait to talk to you in the next episode.